In a perpendicular installation, the joists will run parallel to the building and the deck boards will run perpendicular. The end of the first board should be snug against the side of the building. This board must be at least 3/4 of an inch longer than the structure. If it is more than that, do not be concerned about the excess, it will be cut off later. Ensure this board overhangs the edge of the structure by 3/4 of an inch down the length of the board. This is the starting board and will be secured to the structure. To do so, use a 3/8 inch bit to drill through the top layer of the hollow deck board directly above the outer joist of the structure. Make certain that the drill does not go through the second layer of the deck board. Continue to drill a hole approximately every 16 inches down the length of the board. Secure the board to the structure with a 2.5 inch number 8 screw. The screw should be secure, but be careful not to over tighten. Continue to attach the starter board with a screw in each of the holes that was drilled. Do not use the screws packaged with the slide and go system. They were engineered specifically for the slide and go clips, and if you use them elsewhere, you will possibly run short later. Place a hole plug in the drilled holes for a professional finish. Position a slide and go fastener on the first joist. There is a tab at the bottom of the fastener to allow quick alignment with the edge of the joist. Be sure that the tab does not go on the outside of the joist but stays on the inside. It will interfere later with the E-trim installation if it is on the outside. Tighten the screw only halfway to secure the slide and go fastener. It will be fully secured later once the deck boards are in place. Continue to add a slide and go fastener to each joist, making sure that they are tight against the deck board. There is a special bit included in the slide and go fastener kit specifically made for these screws. Once the fasteners are in place, add the second deck board and push it snug to the building. Do not be concerned if it is not exactly the same length as the first, but make sure it overhangs the outer edge by at least 3/4 of an inch. The excess will be cut off later. Make sure the deck board is pressed firmly against the slide and go fasteners and ensure that it is under the lip of each fastener. This is what holds the boards down. Add the next row of slide and go fasteners on every joist down the length of the board, remembering to only tighten the screws halfway. Once the next board is in place and all the slide and go clips are secured, you may go back to the previous row to tighten the slide and go screws. As the screws are tightened, make sure that they are tightened to the correct setting. Proper torquing of the slide and go clips is important to ensure that your deck boards can expand and contract. Over torquing will drive the clip screw into the clip, restricting deck board movement. For final torquing, your drill should be at a low setting, usually between the range of 2 and 6. Drill power, wood conditions, and other factors may affect this setting. Watch to see that the screw is at the correct depth. The head will be resting on the top of the clip, but not embedded into the clip. Continue this process until you have reached the end of the structure. Ensure the last board overhangs the end of the structure by at least 3/4 of an inch. Secure the final board with the same process as the first board. Drill a 3/8 inch hole in the board directly above the structure it will be secured to. Remember to drill through the top layer only. Repeat this approximately every 16 inches down the length of the board. Secure the board to the structure with 2.5 inch number 8 pan head screws. Place a hole plug in the drilled holes for a professional finish. The final board needs to be cut to finish with a 3/4 inch overhang. Excess should be removed by marking a line on the board and then cut along the line with a skill saw. If the end of this board butts up against the house or other structure, you may want to mark and cut the board before securing it to the structure. Once all the boards are secure, the end must be checked for the proper overhang. A 3/4 inch overhang should be maintained around the entire deck. If care is taken when these boards are cut to length, a 3/4 inch overhang can be created without any final steps, but if the boards are uneven or the overhang is more than 3/4 of an inch, the excess will need to be cut off.